Hi everyone, I hope you're okay, and I hope that the videos we keep uploading are helping you out. This is the third video, guys, which simply means I'm answering question number 3 from the mid-year examination, which was written in the province of Mpumalanga in the year of 2024. Please do expect a total number of 8 videos, since the question paper had 8 questions in total. That means each and every question will have its own video. And secondly, guys, please do take these videos seriously. I strongly believe that knowing how to tackle exam questions will give you an edge whenever you write your mid-year examination, your preliminary exam, and most importantly, your final examination. So please do share the video to your peers so that they may have the same edge as you. And please, guys, do help us grow the channel by just subscribing. Okay. We are given f of x and g of x, ne? And then we are also given the domain of x, of g of x rather. And then we are told that the two graphs are sketched below. And then A is an x-intercept of f. And then B is just a point which is just between O and A. Then we are told that the straight line CB, CBD, this line over here, with C on f of x and D on g of x, this line is parallel to the y-axis. Basically, they are telling us that this line CBD is just a straight line. Not a straight line rather, but a vertical line, né? Because any other line which is parallel to the y-axis is a vertical line. First question, they want us to determine the x-coordinates of A. We must correct our answer into 2 decimal places. The x-coordinates of A, ne? A is an x-intercept, guys. I don't care what kind of a graph I have, but I know that for my x-intercepts, y is always equal to 0, always the time. So therefore, I'll simply have negative 4x squared is plus 6 is equal to 0, and hence negative 4x squared is equal to a negative 6. Therefore, x squared is basically equal to negative 6 divided by negative 4. Find the square root on both sides, then x squared, rather x is just the square root of 6. The square root of 6 all over 4, ne? This root 6 over, not over 4, man, but root 6 over 2. Root 6 over 2 will basically be equal to the square root of root 6 over 2. I must just round off my answer into 2 decimal place. That's 1.22. So the x value there is just 1.22, ne? Now I'm supposed to show that f of x cannot be equal to 8. By just looking at this graph, guys, I can see that my maximum point is over here. And over there, guys, the maximum point is 6. So the largest y value we have for f of x will be 6. So that means f of x cannot be equal to 8. Why? Because line of y is equal to 8 will be somewhere above there, and these two will not intersect one another. Are you together, guys? So if our range, so since the range is y is less or equal to 6, therefore f of x cannot be equal to 8. Or another way, guys, you can tackle this question. You can simply find that your discriminant. Go back to your nature of fruits, right? Check whether f of x is equal to 8 will give us the discriminant which is positive or discriminant which is negative. Are you together? If our discriminant is negative, we can therefore conclude that f of x cannot be equal to 8 if the discriminant is negative, right? Okay, let's just do so. I have negative 4x squared plus 6 is equal to 8. Make sure everything is in standard form. Move this to the right hand side. Then I have positive 4x squared plus 2 is equal to 0. Then let me find my delta. Delta is just b squared minus 4ac. Remember that, guys, my normal, or rather my quadratic equation should be in terms of ax squared plus bx plus c. So since I do not know the middle, since I don't have the middle term, it simply means that b is equal to 0. Then a is 4, c is 2. This means delta is just equal to negative 32. Altogether. So since delta is equal to a negative number like this, that means f of x cannot be equal to 8. Altogether, since delta is equal to negative 32, and negative 32 is a number which is less than 0. Therefore, f of x cannot be equal to 8. Okay, now I'm supposed to write down the length of CBD in terms of x. CBD, guys, is just a vertical line. Eh? For me to find the length of a vertical line, I just need to say the top graph minus the bottom graph on that line. So C is above D, né? And C belongs to f of x and D belongs to g of x. So therefore, the length of CD will simply be f of x minus g of x. This will simply give me negative 4x squared plus 6 minus negative 2 times the square root of negative x. That's negative 4x squared plus 6 plus 2 times the negative 2 times the square root of negative x. So this is the length of CD in terms of x. Together, the length of CD in terms of x is just negative 4x squared plus 6 plus 2 times the square root of negative x. And then now they want us to calculate the maximum distance of CD. For us to find the maximum distance, we must first find the derivative of CD. For the derivative, before we find the derivative, we must just remove the square root over there, né? Or simply have negative 4x squared plus 6 plus 2 times negative x to the power of half. Therefore, the derivative will simply be negative 8x plus 1 over 2 multiplied by 2 is 1. I'll simply be left with the square root of, not the square root rather, the bracket with negative half as my exponent, because 1 over 2 minus 1 is just negative half. Remember that, guys, for maximum length, the derivative should be 0. That means negative 8x plus negative x times the square root of this guy over there should be equal to 0, right? And therefore I simply have negative 8 is equal to the negative minus the negative x to the power of negative half. I can square both sides, guys, just to remove that 1 over 2 over there. If I square both sides, I would end up having positive 64x squared being equal to x, negative x rather, to the power of negative 1. 64x squared will be equal to, this can be written as negative 1 over x. This and this, one and the same thing. Né? I can multiply both sides by my LCD, which is x. I'll end up having 64x to the power 3 is just equal to negative 1. Then x to the power 3 is basically equal to negative 1 over 64. Find the cube root on both sides, then x is basically negative 1 over 4. Now I do know the x value over there at point B, that's negative 1 over 4. That's the x value. So for me to find the maximum distance, I just need to go and substitute negative 1 over 4 over there. That will give me my maximum distance. Né? So I'll simply have negative 4 open bracket times x squared. That's negative 1 over 4 plus 6 plus 2 times the square root of negative open brackets negative 1 over 4. So this will give me a maximum distance of 27 over 4, which is just 7.25. 27 over 4, which is 6.75 rather. 6.75. Okay. Now I'm asked to write down h of x, the inverse of g. Remember that, guys, g of x is given to us as -2 multiplied by the multiplied by the square root of -x. Ne? For me to find the inverse, I must always reflect the other graph on the line y is equal to x. This basically means I must just interchange both x and y, and therefore go and make y the subject of the formula. So I'll have x over there, -2. I'll have y over there, ne? And then all I can do is to divide both sides by this -2. I'll simply have -x all over 2 is equal to the square root of -y. I can simply square both sides. I'm doing this, guys, because I must just isolate y, ne? This will give me positive x squared divided by 4 is equal to -y. Therefore, y, which represents h of x, is equal to -x squared divided by 4. -x squared divided by 4. And then now we are supposed to, okay, that's -x squared, -x squared divided by 4. Okay, and then now I'm supposed to write the equation of k, the reflection of g about the x-axis. The equation of k, if guys, I'm reflecting this graph of g above the x-axis, the graph will just be over there, ne? So the only thing that will change is the sign of y. So since g of x had -2 as its coefficient, that means k of x should have a +2. Are you together? So this is just +2 times the square root of -x. Okay, and then now I'm told that if f of x plus k has 2 distinct roots, determine the values of k for which determine the values of k. Okay, they want us to find k if this equation has 2 distinct roots. F of x, plus k is equal to 0. F of x is basically -4x squared plus 6. We still have a k there is equal to 0. Okay, if we check, guys, this graph over here, the parabola over here, ne? Let me erase so that you can see properly what we are talking about. Let us erase. We are looking for the values of k such that our parabola will have 2 distinct roots. 2 distinct roots. I have -4x squared plus 6 plus k is equal to 0. Okay, this graph, guys, on its own, ne? I just need to factor out, I just need to talk about the y-intercept of my graph. In this case, guys, I can say let 6 plus k, which is the y-intercept, be equal to p. That means I'll simply have 4x squared plus p is equal to 0. For this graph, guys, to have 2 distinct roots, number one, our y-intercept, the value of p should be greater than 0. First things first, our y-intercept should be greater than 0. Are you together? Y-intercept should be greater than 0. At the same time, that particular y-intercept should be greater than, should be less than 6. Are you together? So basically, my y-intercept should be between this point and that point. What is my y-intercept? My y-intercept is p. P should be between 0 and 6. But remember, guys, p is just a tool to help us, ne? Our actual y-intercept is just 6 plus k. between 0 and positive 6 over there. Ne? I must just isolate k. That means I must subtract 6 inside over there. Whenever I do so, that means I must subtract 6 on the other two sides. On the left hand side, I'll have 0 minus 6. This will give me negative 6. On the other side, I must have 6 minus 6, and that will give me 0. So that's how I was supposed to tackle that question over there. So k should be just between negative 6 and 0. That's how, guys, we're supposed to tackle that question over there. So please do stay tuned and wait for more videos. Thank you.